Hello, and welcome to another episode of How You Really Feel podcast with Jeffrey.
And Tiana.
Do not forget to like, subscribe, and share, and we appreciate you being here. Today, I guess I'd like to talk about all the news that's going around with, I'm the social media person, and I think about what's happening with Sean Puffy Combs, or who should we call him? P. Diddy.
Puff Daddy.
And your thoughts of him just breaking up the whole news cycle and just being around in the news cycle, thinking about all these CEOs that, like, 4 CEOs have resigned in the past week, and all of the fallout. What do you think about the victims? What do you think about Dawn? What do you think about Aubrey? What do you think about Cassie? How do you think they're feeling? Like, there's so much to break down in the Diddy world. He has been captured, denied bail. I want to say I feel bad. I feel bad for anybody who's going to jail. I feel bad for anybody who is getting in trouble, no matter what. Even if they did something, I don't feel like, oh my gosh, I don't want them. No, I feel bad because I just know that's going to be a bad life. But if you did it, I'm that person, and eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. And if you break the law, then of course you have to do the time.
Pay the time.
Yes, I do. So, have you heard anything? What are your thoughts on it? Do you want me to show you some different social media?
I've been keeping up. Usually, I'm the one under the rock and not knowing what's going on, but I've been keeping up mostly because people keep telling me stuff about it. Not so much I'm seeking it out on my own. But have you heard that the Kardashian involvement? Have you heard that?
I did.
Okay.
Thoughts? You tell me a little bit about it.
I don't know. I kept seeing online. People are like, "Is she the what do you call that lady who helped Jeff Epstein?
Like a madam
The
or
Gazelle? Is
a
she
handler? The
the
handler.
Ghislaine?
Yeah, Giselle.
Oh yeah, of this Puff Daddy situation. We were just talking about The Perfect Couple, the new Netflix show. Watch that in our videos below. It's similar. When you're rich, you have all these means, you do all these different things, you get away with it because you have the financial ability to do so. Then you connect with other rich people. And if you have mental illness, when you're rich, that just gives you more leeway to be able to do these,
Did you read where they said her and Sean Combs were trying to have Kanye institutionalized?
Oh no, I didn't read that
part. A part of that was her and Kanye. Well, her and Puff Daddy. I'm gonna say Puff Daddy. It's easier for me to say. Tried to have. They were conspiring to have Kanye institutionalized, and then
for what though? I mean, he has mental health issues,
but that was a part of it. And
but was it to help him or was it to get his money?
I don't know. Whether to get him out of the way or whatever, but. Who knows? He could have had mental health issues because they gave him some too much drugs, or people can go crazy by altering your mental state or altering your brain by having too much drugs or too many chemicals. You know what I'm saying? Because Kanye was kind of good, and then all of a sudden he just went boom. You know what I'm saying? However, that was a part of it. Then it was also a part saying that she would take information and stuff from men. And she would use the information from men as a part of, hey, you know what? This is a tit for tat. So she had this information, and she would get like insider type things and understand and learn business and stuff from really important men. So that was a part of what I read about it on social media. I'll put some links so that you guys can see all these different things that are happening. He was denied bail. They asked for a $50 million bail, and
it's definitely a flight risk,
right? Because he has jets, and so he's basically trying to sell off his jets so that they can say that he's not going to fly away. So he's basically trying to sell off all his assets.
Yeah, that'll stop him.
Right. So he's trying to sell off all his assets, and he's trying to put his Miami house up for because it's paid off. So he literally just paid off his Miami house, and so now. He knew that he was preparing for it, so he paid off the Miami house so that he could use that as collateral because he knew that he was going to jail. Just like when he went to New York, he knew that once he got to New York, it was a matter of time. So when we're seeing him in Central Park, he knew it was a matter of time. His lawyers already knew that it was coming up. what do you think about the victims? What do you think Cassie's saying at this moment?
Get him.
Exactly. I think she's very, very, very happy. Tiffany Red, which is a producer and a rapper, her and Cassie were good friends, and she was one of the people who witnessed some of Diddy's behavior. Remember, he was hanging someone off of a 17th floor balcony. We heard that, and we thought it was Wale, but it is confirmed. And they said it was a lady, but it was confirmed that it was a lady by Tiffany Red, and I think that it might have been her.
That it may have been Tiffany or Cassie
Tiffany.
being hung. Oh, okay.
Because both of them said that there was somebody being hung from the 17th floor. So she was saying different things, and so now she's saying that she can sleep better at night knowing that he's in prison because people will be calling her and harassing her, and she's afraid. And so remember, when people have that power, don't forget they what's his name? The DJ that they blew up his car that he was when he was quote liking Cassie.
Oh, I remember hearing about that. Yeah,
And that is a true story, but supposedly they stole something from Puff, and then that's why Puff was retaliating against that DJ Clue. I think it was DJ Clue that she was supposed to be liking, or he thought that there was something going on. And so it was DJ Clue who got his car blown up, which was another true thing. So his lawyer is trying to say that all this information is false. So I say to me, how do you explain the
it can't all be false.
What about the baby oil and the lube?
People will never let him live that down, the whole baby oil thing. Yeah. The proof is in the baby oil.
I mean, it is 1,000. Like, who gets the job of counting 1,000 baby oil and lube bottles? I'm just wondering, like, who gets that job?
You just have to think about what kind of mental state someone, you can't be right in your mental thinking to be doing all the things that he was doing. It's just good that things are finally, being brought to light, because that has to be tough to be like a victim and have to suffer in silence or be scared all the time. Like you were talking about Tiffany Red, like not being able to live your life without the fear.
Aubrey O'Day, remember her?
Danity Kane.
Yep. And so, did you know that Dawn Richards just filed a lawsuit last week?
Oh, what her lawsuit say?
That he mistreated her, he starved her, he sexually abused her, he mentally and physically abused her. And so that came out before all this happened.
Is that why Danity Kane broke up?
I'm not sure. Because remember, after Danity Kane, they had this different band. They had two people in the band. It was two girls, so Dawn stayed. And I forgot the name of the songs that her and this other girl did. And what's the other girl's name? Do you remember that?
I know what you're talking about, because I just saw a picture of them online the other day. Like Dirty Money or something?
Yes, Dirty Money. And so that group, he called the young lady 57 times after Dawn, 57 times in one day after Dawn put the lawsuit out. And so they're trying to get him from coercing victims. The witnesses. You know what I'm saying? So why would you call her 57 times in one day and you haven't talked to her in years? So those are some of the things that they're saying is red flag, and they're showing you signs of how and what's going on. And
that he needs to be stay behind bars and not released.
I do feel bad for the kids, but remember, they're all profiting.
And I heard some stuff about like he was involving his kids. His kids was involved in some of these, like
the boys.
The boys.
Oh, girl, this is because they're boys. And they probably wanted to do. I'm not saying that it was them messing with boys, but if there are girls there, shit, why wouldn't you? If you're a heterosexual male that is young and full of cum. But
it's just so sad to hear that, like, them boys didn't have a chance then to be raised like that, raised with all that money, raised with all that freedom, raised.
But there are lots of men who would take their boys to have a prostitute or something like that just because you think that's manly. I know it sounds crazy, but that's how that's men.
Sound crazy.
You know what I'm saying? And some men like, oh shit, here, let me hook you up. Go and get her. That's just some people's mentality. And so, it's just like me looking at somebody smoking marijuana, and then they say, I'd rather my kid smoke in front of me than behind my back. So there are people who will give their kids alcohol in front of them than behind their back. They're enabling them, and that's not good, but it's just the same thing with sex. And there are people like, oh shit. I mean, if you have a 13-year-old son and you let his girlfriend spend the night and they sleep in the same room, what is that? You're thinking that, oh, they're just reading books. And no. At 13, 14, 15, and they're in the same room, I think it's kind of like the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just think that I probably wish I'd had a daddy that I could do that. I'll be honest, like, okay, because I'm coming from a male's point of view. You know what I'm saying? From a male's point of view, it's like, but I get it. Like, imagine if somebody does not want that, but it's like, at this age, they're totally willing to do that. And it's like, imagine that lifestyle that, oh shit, they're popping champagne. And even if you weren't in front of your daddy's where he can see you in your sight, if you're just in that vicinity, I could sneak over to the side and get me some champagne. My daddy never going to see me. You know what I'm saying? I can do all this stuff in the outskirts because it's there, but you don't have to be a part of the mix. You know what I'm saying?
Diddy was out there feeling the champagne. Take that.
I believe it. But, and I don't know what capacity that his sons were like. Were you saying they were forced into doing things? Or
no, they were like willingly. Yeah, like because some people was like almost like saying negative stuff about his one son.
King.
Yeah. And so it's like, no, they were like participating and I guess being a little bit of like aggressive and abusive themselves.
I can believe it.
Yeah.
Because then they're seeing what their dad does and it's like, oh, bitch, we can do the same as that thing.
Yeah. This is how it's supposed to go down,
You know who I am?
Mm-hmm. Somebody brought this to my attention this week. Not brought it to my attention. They asked this question of like, is he canceled now? Do we not listen to the music? Because I played some Michael Jackson music earlier this week, and somebody was like, I thought he was canceled. Should we be listening to his music or whatever? So they were like, do you, I forget how they phrased it exactly. Do you stop listening to the art because of the artist? What's your thoughts on that?
You tell me yours first.
I'm asking the question to you.
Well, remember you said that they posed that question to you when you played Michael Jackson. So what did you do?
I said, well, if they got a good message, I'm going to share it. Now, I don't know if there's any good messages in Diddy songs. I just only know a few of his songs. I want a girl to ride, ride, ride.
So basically you're saying that for me, this morning it was so funny. No, maybe it was yesterday. I had put on a track list from 2002. And of course, Biggie and all of them were good or big during those time. Not Biggie wasn't big during that time, but in 2002 they still had like Michael Jackson. P. Diddy was on there with a couple of songs, and I'm like thinking, okay, it's time for me to fast forward it. I think that I'm doing it because this person has really pulled the wool over my eyes, and this person has done good, but off the backs of other people. And so I see that, and then whenever they say other stories about how this person has kept me from doing this or how this person has kept me because I would not do what they tell me to do, now all of a sudden this person's keeping me from having a great music career if I could sing. You know what I'm saying? This person's keeping me from this person's doing that. So when I hear some of the songs and I think about, okay, I'm listening to the song and I'm listening to these girls, and to know that they got beat up or somebody got beat up in the same session, it's like me listening to R. Kelly. I mean, I Believe I Can Fly. Those are great, 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 great things. But it's just like, imagine if I would not go to a church of somebody who I knew that was raping half of the congregation.
Well, what if what you're listening to isn't putting any money in their pocket?
Okay.
And you just listen to the music?
Yeah, I mean, you can listen to the music, but then it's like, it's the messenger, it's the energy behind it. So if I know that somebody was a pedophile and they can sing all the Christian music that they want, and it could be my favorite Christian songs. I'm just not standing behind that person and listening to that person sing, and that person is a pedophile. Yeah, I can whatever you make your thing with God, but for me as an individual, I'm not forgiving that. Well, I'm not forgiving you for that. I'm not going to hold that against you, but I'm not going to forgive you. I'm like, I'm trying to treat you as a person, but the fact that you have defiled a kid, the fact that you have done some different and bad things to somebody who can't offend themselves, and even
allegedly,
I'm not talking about him. I'm just saying in general. No, I'm saying in general because remember, I'm just saying, like, if it was, hypothetically speaking, if it was someone who did nice Christian music, I would not be behind that, because I want that person who's speaking that message, I want to be behind that message. So it's like listening to Anita Baker. I love listening to Anita Baker, but then imagine if somebody else could sing great and they were singing her same song. I'm not going to be behind that if I know that person had a nasty and was like this evil.
I get that, because it's that balance. Like, you don't want to support and put someone who's not a good person at the top. You know, that's why they've been doing all these Me Too's, and now if you have, you know, been abusive, like, they're quick to like drop you and take stuff away from you. And I think it's rightfully so, because you shouldn't be able to profit and you're not being an honorable person. I agree with that 100%. I guess I just have a hard time because when it comes to Michael Jackson stuff, because it's like, well, I mean, he had them good songs, and it's still alleged that these things have occurred. Now, P. Diddy get convicted, I'm okay with dropping. I don't be listening to P. Diddy music that much anyway, so I don't mind dropping him out of my playlist.
But did you drop the Michael Jackson out of your playlist?
I just did because it's allegedly.
Okay, no. I'm just asking. For me, he's still in my playlist. He has gone to court. They never said anything. This happened after he died. If there was hard evidence that Michael did anything, of course. You know what I'm saying? I will say that I don't listen to him as much, but then I probably didn't listen to him a lot anyway. But if one song happens to come up, then I'm just going to play that song. However, if R. Kelly comes up, I'm really trying to, I don't even think any of his music comes up on my stuff anyway. That's so
right.
funny.
I was never really a big R. Kelly fan anyway.
I mean, I used to love R. Kelly. He had this song called Rockstar. Uh-huh. And you remember they had Vibe. She's got that vibe. Like, he was good. I don't know. Do you remember? I mean, he was a very good singer. I like a lot of songs that R. Kelly did. I mean, I really did. R. Kelly probably used to be on my playlist like Beyonce is on there now.
Really?
And
okay.
I mean, but during that time when he was big and he was pushing a lot of stuff out there.
Keys to ignition, hot and fresh out the kitchen, mama rolling that body. But I think I only like some of the main ones that was like really
exactly. But then, and he was, that's how I'm like.
And I guess when I think about it, I did play R. Kelly's music like 3 years ago in class. Hot and fresh out the kitchen.
Yeah.
But then I think his documentary and them women coming out didn't come out till around that time anyway. So I'm still on the right side of history.
So, but even now with all that stuff, they're trying to bring up all these young ladies in their ages and when they met their these music producers. So now we're seeing that they're saying, oh, look, Rihanna was 16 when this happened. Oh, look, blah, blah, blah. Beyonce was this when this happened. Oh, this person was this when it happened. And so now this age stuff is coming out, and they're like, okay, well, they're around these men, and so now they're making these men into pedophiles. So I want to say this. Just look at the demographics that they're talking about.
I feel like there's a secret coded message.
But the demographics only are on this side. You don't think it's happening in country music? You don't think it's happening in all these other genres? Do you get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. There's also people saying, all this is coming out because the Democrats want to take Trump out of the news. Do you think that too?
That the Democrats want to take Trump out the news.
And so we orchestrated to have Diddy arrested. Are you kidding me?
Because he had got shot,
right.
shot at.
And so ain't nobody thinking about him getting shot.
Yeah. I was like, huh?
See, this is Democrat and Republican panel. Democrat Republican panel right here.